Dr. LL, and we've got a show here that's new. We hope that you like what we're bringing together. It's all about toxic workplaces, right? Toxic bosses, all of the people, the colleagues, the coworkers that we just have a hard time figuring out what they want from us. They don't understand what we want from them. And at the end of the day, it's just so much friction that the workplace becomes toxic. And all we can think about is exiting stage left, right? That's what we do. So let's get into some definitions just to get the show set up. A toxic workplace is defined in very general terms as an environment that has negative behaviors, attitudes, and practices that adversely affect the well-being, morale, and productivity of employees. Common features of toxic workplaces are bullying. Anybody have that happen? Oh yeah, right? Harassment, micromanagement, and they've got the parrot on your shoulder. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Right? A lack of communication, favoritism, right? Even nepotism in some cases, high levels of stress. We all know what those are. A lack of support from management, unrealistic expectations, and a general lack of respect and civility among coworkers, right? A toxic workplace can have detrimental effects on employee mental and physical health, not to mention job satisfaction rate, and then the overall organizational performance stuff. So that's what a toxic workplace is. And it's so commonly used now that if you look at Google Trends, it's unbelievable. Toxic workplace is trending almost as high as job hunt, right? And no surprise, because they do go hand in hand. If you're working in a place that's toxic, you want to get out. And unless you're a trust fund baby, right, you're going to have to get a job. So that makes sense. However, a toxic workplace has a very different definition when it comes to legal terms. What does that mean? It means, can you sue your employer for a toxic workplace? Yes, you can, but only under certain conditions. So let's talk about New Jersey, which is where I'm based. There is a law against discrimination, and it defines a hostile work environment as a place where an individual is subjected to harassing conduct based on a protected characteristic, including, but not limited to, your race, your color, your religion, your national origin, your gender, your sexual orientation, your gender identity or expression, your disability, your age, or any other characteristic, right? Protected by law. The conduct must be so severe and pervasive enough that it creates an abusive and hostile work environment that other people are being affected by, because you're not the only one who's on the receiving end of all of that negativity and harassment. It can be verbal and physical behavior, derogatory comments, right? Slurs, threats, intimidation, or even physical assault. Plus, all of the nonverbal conduct, right? Like displaying offensive images or engaging in unwelcome touching. To establish a claim, and I'm not an attorney, but what I've learned is that if you want to establish a claim of a hostile work environment, the employee must generally demonstrate that the conduct was sufficiently severe and pervasive enough that it altered all the conditions of their employment and created such an abusive and hostile work environment based on a protected characteristic, and that the conduct was unwelcome, that you were very clear you did not want that and you were offended by it. If you can prove all of that, well, then you could have a claim. Then, along the lines of proof, you've got to get testimony from the affected employees and witnesses, show text messages, recordings, emails, performance evaluations, turnover rates, and any other evidence of low workplace morale. These are all indicators of a toxic work environment. So what does this all mean? It means it's easy to very glibly speak about, yeah, I work in a toxic place. We can talk about that. But the legal definition, if you actually want to take action and drive change, is a lot more challenging to prove. Doesn't matter All we care about here on this channel is hearing your stories about your toxic boss, your toxic workplace, so that we can work together to come up with tips and techniques that have been proven out in other work environments to help you navigate through all of the stress and distress that being in a toxic workplace has created for you. We're here to help. We're going to figure it out.